Montserrate, the mountain that towers over Bogota, was the plan for that day. My friend Diego gave me a list of things he'd like to show me, and I opted for Montserrate first. I had heard and read about the amazing view from the top of this mountain to look down on the city of Bogota. Diego gave me the choice to ride the cable car or the funicular up and down the mountain, and I asked him if we could do both, the cable car up and the funicular down. I told Diego that one of my great-great-uncles had been one of the first conductors of the two remaining funiculars in Pittsburgh, the Duquesne Incline. The war memorials outside the upper entrance to that incline list my ancestors going back for generations. I've always jumped at the chance to ride a funicular, whether Angel's Landing in LA or the one to Montserrate above Barcelona. We got our tickets and got in line to take the cable car up. There was a line, but considering it was a holiday, May Day, Labor Day, the line was not very long, and I found it interesting to watch the cable cars going up and down while we waited. The cable car opened in 1955 and cost 1,000,000 pesos back then, back when a peso still equaled $1. The journey takes only 4 minutes to travel the 820 meters, 2,690 feet, to the top of the mountain. As the cable car ascended, the full scope and size of Bogota revealed itself. I knew this was a city of 8 million people, but the sprawl of it, like that of Los Angeles, is a little hard to grasp until you're above it looking down. The population of LA is about 4 million for the city itself, but it spreads into its many suburbs, adding up to about 13 million. Once we were up top, Diego showed me what there was to see up top of the mountain, including a view of the church on the neighboring mountain, Guadalupe. We just peeked inside the church on Montserrate because there was a mass in progress and we didn't want to intrude. Then we walked the long gauntlet of shops and food stalls up the hill. Vendors beckoned to us all along the way. The workers seemed a little desperate. No one seemed to be patronizing their businesses in spite of the crowd on the mountain, and it was a rather hot day to be working so hard. The walk to the funicular took us past the Stations of the Cross. When we took the funicular down the mountain, it went through a tunnel on its descent. The view of Bogota when we came out of the tunnel was amazing. We passed the teleferico on the way down. The funicular emptied right out into the city and we wandered around checking things out. We stopped for lunch at a seafood restaurant Diego liked. I had the garlic shrimp, which although good, was not as visually interesting as his fish. Since it was the holiday, none of the museums or parks, including this national park in the city that we had hoped to visit, were open. But I still enjoyed seeing the site. This is a statue of Santander, one of Colombia's presidents. Diego pointed out the tallest building in Bogota. He said it was designed to have an observation deck at the top, but they ran out of money and the upper floors were never finished, although there were people living in most of the floors below that. There was a monument to Colombia's journalists, so of course I had to have my photo taken in front of it. There were many businesses named in English or for places in the United States. For much of the walk, we could see Montserrate towering above us. I tried liches, the weird-looking but strangely good fruit, for the first time, and I tried some other street food. We passed many universities. There seemed to be one every 2 or 3 blocks. This is the university that Diego's sister attended, Colegio Mayor de San Bartolome. It's one of the oldest ones in Bogota. These are dorms for some of the universities. There was some good street art and some interesting streets in general, and we did a lot of walking but saw a lot of the city. There were large demonstrations for Labor Day as well as various political causes, but there were very few police around. And although there weren't, I never felt terribly unsafe in these large crowds, including those in Simón Bolívar Plaza in front of the cathedral. I just made sure to keep a hand on my phone and to keep it chained to my body. 2 days later, when the museums were open, Diego and I were able to visit several of them, along with the Sunday market. Subscribe so you can come along and not miss more of my Colombian adventures.